Let's take a look at the anatomical position and some of the movements that you can make. This is the anatomical position. My palms are facing forward, my feet are flat on the floor, facing forward, I'm upright, facing forward. If I want to show you what flexion is, I'm going to decrease the size of the angle of a joint. I'm flexing my elbows. I'm flexing my knee, and I'm flexing my hip. And I'm flexing my neck. Extension is to straighten all those joints back to the anatomical position. In extension, the joints are more open. They're a larger angle. Flexion of the elbow, extension of the elbow. Flexion of the shoulder, extension of the shoulder, hyperextension of the shoulder. Flexion of the neck, extension of the neck, hyperextension of the neck and back. Now let's take a look at abduction and adduction. Abduction is to move part of the body away from the midline. I am abducting my arms. Abduction. Adduction is to bring the body parts back towards the midline of the body. If you look at my hand, I've abducted my fingers. When I pull them back together, that's adduction of the fingers. The axis that you're looking at is the central finger, finger number 3. You can notice that one doesn't move. It's in the midline. It stays in the midline. The limbs also rotate. So if you look at my arm, I am, from the anatomical position, I am rotating it inward. This is called medial rotation. The rotation occurs around the longitudinal axis of the limb. If I turn the limb back to the anatomical position, this is external rotation. I could do the same thing with my lower limb. I can try. I can rotate my foot inward. My whole femur is medially rotated. I go back to the anatomical position, it's externally rotated. Many clinicians will speak of dorsiflexion and plantar flexion of the ankle. Dorsiflexion is to point the toes towards the ceiling. Plantar flexion is to point the toes towards the floor. Circumduction is the movement of a limb in a circle. It's a combination of movements: flexion, abduction, adduction, extension. So I'm circumducting my arm.